Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at my sketchbook. We're doing a sketchbook tour. This is going to be a digital sketchbook tour because I've been drawing on my iPad usually, and that's where all my sketches are, and so that's what we're going to be looking at. We are going to start off with some scribbles. These are actually my warm-up drawings. You may have seen them in other videos as well, where I just kind of warm up my hand by doing scribbles and lines and things like that. Here we have a doodle I did of a character I was playing in a Kids on Bikes game. Was it Kids on Bikes or was it D&D? I think it was D&D. I was playing as an owl, and it was Kingdom Hearts themed, so Kingdom Hearts spurred Pickle Juice. I played Pickle Juice in 2 different games, and both games have fallen apart, so I don't think it's meant to be. Here we have some more warm-up drawings, circles, squares, triangles, and lines. Just trying to get my hand moving again. I make myself do warm-ups. This part I was going to do like a meme of my characters, but I never ever got around to finishing. Like, I made the bars and then I just didn't get around. And I don't even remember who it was supposed to be. I think George and Kyle and Aaron and Ben probably. I don't know if I'll ever finish that. It's unlikely. Next we have a drawing of Yolanda. She is the big bad of the game that I'm DMing. We're gonna look through and see how I kind of put it together. Finished colored pieces, there's layers. That's my color correct layer, as you can see. And then I actually did change the way her face looked. As we removed the layers one by one, see how her face looks here. I had changed it to this one from so first face, second face. I couldn't remember how she looked when I was drawing her, and I had a reference, but I couldn't remember, so I had wound up redrawing her. But as you can see, I do more than one drawing sometimes. And here's the sketch, here's the real sketch. I actually like the sketch, it's really cute. I wanted her to look coy and cocky and like she was winning. And there's this other sketch that didn't turn out right. I just didn't get the shape right at first. With the pose and the hair, I wasn't figuring it out. So the second one definitely turned out better. I'm gonna put all the layers back on, put it all together. Color correct and a light overlay glow layer. I actually named the folder. It's pretty rare of me to do, unless it's serious. So next we have a doodle I did. I was actually trying to make a better picture. There he is, Tony. This was the better picture. It turned out so good. I was doing a drawing challenge with one of my friends, or 2 of my friends. We were supposed to do color challenge, and I got brown and pink. But I did finish my part, and it was Tony. He turned out so good looking. He's one of the incubuses in George's story. As you can see, I'm kind of removing the color correct layers. It doesn't look like I did a lot, but that orange and yellow do plenty. And then we're gonna slowly remove the layers again just to see the buildup of it, so all the lighting and highlights are gone. So this is just the base and the shadows. And you're gonna take the shadows off as well and just kind of see the base colors. He looks so good. So yeah, you can see I'm moving the shadows, and then we get all the way down to the line art, which actually turned out really good. And there's a sketch in here somewhere. Here's the second drawing. Here's the sketch. And then there's a first sketch. I think this is the first sketch, and then there was a second sketch, which is this one. It turned out really nice, better than the first sketch. That's why you gotta warm up. And then the horns, because I didn't want to draw the horns on my sketch. I didn't come up with the pose. I had a pose reference. It turned out so beautifully. We're gonna put all the layers back on. Okay, and that's Tony. This is a meme I did for TikTok. I do put some TikTok memes inside of these files because in the month, so like May or June. Don't remember what it was about though. Can't remember what all the memes are. And then this meme was me begging Toon Boom to lower their prices, and my life is yours. I think Toon Boom should be more accessible so we can have more animators able to work. That's just me. I love Toon Boom, but it's very expensive. And this is a third meme. Again, I don't know what the meme is about for this one, but I know I can shake it around. I was going through some kind of a crisis about something. Can't tell you what it was. This one was Part of Me Feels So Bad, but ooh, not that bad. That sound that was trending on the talk for a bit. And I did this little drawing of me. And then back to that template that I made. So this was a drawing of George and Aaron. I wanted to draw them like in the real world, like an AU sort of thing where they're going to college. But I was struggling a bit. One of my big issues with drawing George and Aaron is getting Aaron's height just right to George, because Aaron's always supposed to be at George's shoulder. But sometimes he's just not in the right place, and we're going to see that actually is a bigger problem later in the sketchbook. I don't know. I wasn't like fond of this drawing when I was doing it. I did different variations. That was the best one for me. This was a warm-up I did before that, and then this was the first drawing of George just kind of like in a uniform kind of sort of thing. It's like a regular outfit. George is in a regular outfit. It's a collared shirt and some jeans, but I don't know. I didn't really like it, and then I tried again, tried to see if I could fix his face to be more Georgie, but it wasn't working. So I switched to the other one where it was George and Aaron walking together. I think it's cute whenever they're together, so I don't mind how the outcome is, but it didn't go how I wanted, and I did try to make a background for it, but the background wasn't working, and I was like, it was just one of those drawings in your sketchbook that doesn't turn out how you want, and so you just leave it be. But I think the final colored version was really good, so I was happy with it. So after I did this drawing, I still wanted to draw Aaron and George, and I wanted to draw something for Pride Month. So I was like, okay, let me try something different. And I made a new picture, and it turned out so beautifully in the end. But I did struggle with this. I think I was having real bad art block at the time. This is in July, as you can see in the file. I was having bad art block, and none of my art was looking good to me. Nothing was turning out right, but this turned out so pretty to me and so cute, and I just love seeing Aaron and George together. Like I said, just being in love. They are both men, by the way. When I posted my video, it was so funny. Someone was like, hooray, someone's posing for the lesbians, and I'm like, oh, I do love the lesbians, but they're two gay men. They just happen to look this way. So as you can see, I removed the color balance. I want to remind everyone that I do draw in gray and a very dark, low brightness. So the brightness tends to be quite low by the time I turn the lights up. So I put color correction all the time. Here you can see the sketches. This is where I was really struggling, but looking back at it, it looks really cute as it is. I just couldn't figure out why I didn't like it at the time. But this pose is so cute. The interaction is there, the love, you can see them just cutesy being together. But I was really struggling on like, how is George laying in comparison to Aaron? Like, are they laying on the same space? So I made a second sketch, and again I was just struggling on like, how is he laying compared to Aaron? But I feel like it looked fine. I just didn't like the way it was looking in that moment. I just couldn't figure out the perspective pretty much. And here's the third sketch. As you can see, I was really boxing. I was trying to figure it out. I think all the sketches are so cute. I'll definitely have him hold the face a little closer just to be a little bit cuter together. But again, like, we have that one space where I was like, how is this working? How are they laying together? But it looks fine now, right? You know how you be drawing in the moment and it just doesn't look good. But that's what sketchbooks are for. Finally, I got to this pose and I was like, okay, I think I'm figuring out what I'm trying to do. Aaron's face is a little bit small here compared to George's face, so I definitely would have to fix that, but that didn't matter. I just started a brand new sketch again. And this was wound up being the final sketch before I moved on to doing the lines of the actual piece. I think it's so cute. I love them interacting. I love when they're just like kind of hugging and then putting all kinds of hearts on them because they just have heart eyes for each other. Then we get to the final sketch to final, and you see it turned out really well and also very cute. Happy Pride to my 2K boys. So okay, again in July, what was going on at the time? I was having such doubts for my art. But I wanted to participate in that meme that was going around. People were drawing that model. I can't remember what it was. It was like heat stroke or something. And I wanted to draw the king and Davi. So I did, but I never posted it because I didn't like how it looked. I thought it looked really bad. But looking at it now, it looks really great. It turned out really well. So I did the king in one pose and Davi in the other pose. Here are all the references. I put them together so I could get like the height difference. The king is a very tall archfey and Davi is just a regular fae dryad, so I had to get the heights right of her reference. And then I did a sketch, a very light sketch of them, and then I went kind of straight for color and line. But it wasn't vibing with me like I said at the time, but it's vibing with me right now, so that's what matters. I didn't even like the background that I did. I was like, oh, ew. But like putting it all together now and looking at it, I think it turned out really gorgeous. Sometimes that art block could get you down bad and you can't even see your art for what it is. But it's really good. And I think there's a light layer somewhere in here. I actually really love the way this came out. I love seeing them standing next to each other and I want to stand them next to each other more. Look at that leg. Okay, King, I see you. Davi belly out. Up next we have a doodle of Nestarine. Nest is Bobby's wife. She's a water nymph. I was just doing a little doodle of her and my friend was like, oh, could you draw Nest? And I was like, okay. And again, I was still in such an art block, so I wasn't really vibing with anything I was drawing, but this one turned out really nicely. There were some sketches that I did of her that I just didn't like. This one's also a sketch, but the previous one's like this one, I was like, oh, it just looks wrong. And the other one, I was like, oh, it doesn't look right. The struggle. Just like imagine me turning the pages like, ah. But I kept everything. I didn't delete anything. So that's the good part. That's the fun part about the sketchbook, is you just keep the things as they are. So there's Nest. Up next we have some doodles from my games I'm running. The players were making a plea to the gods to save this character's partner, and so I did like that meme, open the floodgates of heaven, and the characters were like pleading like please save their partner, and their prayer was answered. It was pretty funny. And this is another doodle from the game where they were trapped in this like ancient old evil school, and like the hallways were so crushed that the whole team was just kind of locked together. Next, we're getting to about August at this point, and I was doing August All You Can Write, which was a trend on Twitter for writers to write as much as they could within 1 to 2 weeks. But I'm a comic artist, and I was like, oh, I'll work on my script for my comic Domestic. And this picture was about like who is the antagonist, and it's Jess and Radiance, who are just the neighbors / the characters' siblings, Aaron's sister, Kyle's brother, and they're like the keep up with the Joneses next door, like the neighbors who got it all together. It seems like just like rivalry, so it's not like a real like violent antagonist, just kind of like trying to do better than each other. So this is what that picture was for. It turned out pretty good. I do think the kid's arms are like way too long, but whatever. I think it's really cute, and I love Jess's like a smile next to Radiance. He looks so cranky. This is a cover I did for All You Can Write. It's where we were showing who are the characters. I actually did the first cover first, but apparently I'm showing the second one right now. This one shows George, Kyle, Aaron at the top from right to left, and Bim is in the middle. He's the big one with the yellow shirt, and then baby girl Ewan listening because Bim's gonna have a baby. And this is where I was showing all the 4 dads with the babies. We're gonna kind of go through the layers again to see the breakdown. So to take the layers away, we've got the clean line art on the background. Take away the background and get rid of the shadows, and it's just a line art. You can see how I did some of the grass before coloring it. Just a little grass detail to hint at the grass, but not put too much grass. I wanted to really showcase their expressions for Bim's pregnancy. Aaron's kind of like, George is like, oh wow, and Kyle's like, oh my god, you're having a baby. And Ewan is like, a baby, a sibling. So yes, taking all that away, and there should be a sketch in here. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Here's the sketch. See, the sketch pretty much is what the drawing turned out to be. I only did like one sketch. It did start off bigger and closer, but I wanted to really emphasize how big and giant Bim is. Here is the first cover I did. Let me just say, this cover did give me some trouble, and guess why? Is because Aaron's height. Again, Aaron should always be at George's shoulder, but for some reason in the original drawing, Aaron was so short, and I blame it on Kyle because George is at Kyle's shoulder. And so I wind up like losing Aaron's height in the process. So I gotta just get that right. He should always be at George's shoulder, and you're gonna see that when I go through the sketch part of it, that Aaron was teeny tiny. Like, he looks good right here, but let me tell you, man was short. Here we are. You're gonna see I have the color correction layers on here again. I had a variety, adding some yellow so it wasn't so blue, and just giving some warmth to it. Again, I have to add brightness because I draw so in the dark that the brightness is necessary. I really like how this picture turned out. Ewan looks so happy, and Kyle and George look so happy, and Aaron, you can tell that he's the head of the family. He's kind of looking ahead. This is the family. And then our biggest issue was the height. This is how Aaron looks right now, but the original Aaron, bam, look at how short he is. He's so tiny, you'd think he was a halfling. He's supposed to be up here, but he's way down here. He's not supposed to be this, shouldn't be this short. Now Aaron does have gnomish genes. He's part gnome and part elf and part shadow elf, so it wouldn't be unnatural for him to be short. He's quite short for his stature, but he should be this short. He's supposed to be at George's shoulder. And the even crazier part is the halfling is right here. Kyle is halfling and Cambion / demon. He just happens to be really tall. So I just couldn't figure out why I drew Aaron so tiny. So I had to pretty much clean up the entire backdrop and redraw Aaron to be way taller to fit his height. Like, look, he's so teeny. Aaron, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get you right, especially since I'm doing an entire comic about them. Like, his height has perfect. So you can see I had to clean up the picture, erase, and then add him back in, kind of paint him back on top, and it turned out fine. I think his legs are too skinny, but you know what? It was just for a writing challenge, so it's okay, and I can always redraw the picture or edit the picture later. That's the fun part about digital art. You can just edit it. Not saying it'll be easy though, because I had a trouble redoing that backdrop. Just the height difference is crazy. Regular size, tiny. Regular size, tiny. Like, oh my goodness, thank goodness we fixed it. He probably should even be a little bit taller, because again, he should be at the shoulder exactly, and George is kind of leaning, so he definitely probably needs to be even taller. Crazy. So here we're going to look at the sketches a bit more. You can see the original sketch, and you can see Ewan was sketched on. And then at first, the original was going to have all of them together with Bim, but it felt like Bim didn't belong. That's why I wound up doing 2 different covers. Like, he feels very outcast, which makes sense story-wise, but I didn't want that to show right away. That's a separate issue for a later issue. I wanted them to sing really together in like a fully fledged circle. As you can see, it kind of goes all the way around. So that's what I was aiming for. I didn't want it to be Bims on the outside. This is now August. We're going into September. I haven't finished drawing for September, but I'm showing the file anyway. I redrew Maverick for my game I'm running. He's a god. I also redrew the baby god, just like some fresh art for them. I think the art turned out really good. They look really refreshed and new, and especially since the team was reuniting with them after a blunder of sorts, I really wanted it to feel fresh and new, like a restart, and also just kind of show the change that Maverick is going through as he's slowly becoming better, but he's not getting better fast enough. And I also wanted to show the baby's mom is involved now, so the baby looks a little bit neater. No offense to Maverick. Then here is Dylan. Dylan is one of the NPCs. He's one of Maverick's stars. A fallen angel, pretty much. Not that he fell because he did anything wrong, like he literally fell out of the sky because the god fell. And I wanted him to look a bit neater than previously. I don't know if I can find the old drawing of Dylan, but he was in school, and now he's out of school for now. He's a college student, and he's relearning what it's like to be an angel, but pretty much it's not going well for him. He doesn't know how to handle it. And here we have Lacey. I was doing a little doodle. I was trying to figure out how to draw her again, because I do want to get back to drawing Lacey at some point. Wink, it'll happen at some point. It doesn't look exactly like her, but you know, it was so fun to draw her. I do miss her a lot. Next, we get to Maverick's dad, the moon. I was in a real good drawing mood, and the art turned out really good. I do wish I could have put more light effects on his halo. I would call it a halo, but like the thing floating above his head to represent the two moons. And more light on his hair, but for what it is, it turned out really good. I forgot that the background like renders more. It's got way more stars than I thought, so I would definitely want to lower the opacity of that. Here we have some warm-up sketches. I was just sketching freely. I really love this page. I love all the little faces. And here's just another warm-up. I was doing shapes and colors, just kind of having fun with it with the lines this time. Less scribbly than before. And then I did some little doodles of the domestic cats of George. And then we have Aaron. And then we have Kyle. And then we have Bim. So I drew all of them, just like really quick sketches of them, nothing too finalized. I was just in the mood to draw them. They're so cute to me. I love them. My OCs. And then this one, I might have to censor it a bit. This one, there was like a meme on Twitter of like OCs holding hands who are couples and like what they're thinking. And I really like that idea. We once again have Aaron height problems. It never ends. He's supposed to be at George's shoulder, but somehow he is just taller. Again, I always am gonna blame Kyle, because once Kyle gets involved, things are wrong. And even George's height to Kyle is wrong, because remember, George should be at Kyle's shoulder. So it's just kind of like, at some point, I'm gonna have to get the height between the three of them right. And again, especially since I'm drawing a legit comic of them, so working out their height standing together is going to be very, very important. See, I adjusted the height even in this. In the sketch, he was closer to the height he was supposed to be, so I don't know how he got taller, but I like the way that the meme turned out anyway. The thought was there, and it was just like a fun, quick thing to do. Very sketchy. Just the proportions all wrong. Ugh. It's okay though. Just a sketchbook. So then we enter into the fandom part of my sketchbook. I started playing Fields of Mystria. I am a Stardew girly. I'm not a girl, but I am a Stardew girly, and so playing Field of Mystery was a must. These are my three crushes: Rias, Reyna, and Island. I love all three of them, so I wanted to draw me reacting to them. And then this was just like a little meme I made for myself about how all my D&D characters I play as are he, theys, or he, hims, and no she, hers, or she, theys, and I want to fix that, but do I? I do actually. This is a character I played in a one-shot. I cannot even tell you what the name was. I don't remember. I thought that he looked way too much like me with the glasses though. And after that, I did some gesture drawings. I'm not going to show the gestures that I did just in case YouTube doesn't want me to show that. And then I drew another Rias. I love Rias. He's just so cute and princely to me. So I wound up drawing him again. So we're starting in the next file, which has August memes in it. So this is where most of the memes I did for August are. You can see I spent 6 hours in this file. It's very doodly, very warm up, very sketchy. Just kind of getting some sketches in. And then we also have this little meme chart I did for George and Aaron. It was on Twitter again. And then I drew George and Aaron being in love because I love drawing them together. I love them together. They are just so precious to me, and their love is so precious. Then I did another meme. I'm not a little girl anymore for Ewan with Kyle and George. And we see Ewan tiny. Here are the sketches. And then she gets really big. And I cleaned up the line art for that and gave her some different poses. I don't think that the proportions are right in this one again, but it was just like really quickly done in a couple of minutes, so I didn't really spend a lot of time on it getting it right. But definitely would want Kyle to be taller and George to be at the shoulder. He's almost at the shoulder, but not quite. But I think Ewan is so cute. I'm not to do. She was so tiny. I like drawing interactions between them. Then we had this quick sketch I did for the King and Davi. I wanted to make an animation meme with them, and I still do, but I gotta get around to it. I feel like I get an idea and then I'm like, oops, I'm still doing something else. but it was supposed to be to Meg the Stallion. He lied to me, I'm lying to him. Guess we both ain't. So this would be the king's first pose, and then we would alternate it to Dobby's pose where he's like, I'm lying to him. You can see the king in the back. I love them. They're so cute together. Then I did a little meme of myself. I can't remember what the sound was. It was a sound where you like kind of reveal a secret or something about the person. It was just about me, and I made a little face. So there was that. Look how cute the little faces are. And then this one was a less happy of me. This was to that BMO sound. BMO always bounces back. Not this time. During August and like most of the summer, I think it attributed to my burnout as well. I was going through some real grief about how I was in the publishing industry for a brief time and then fell out of it. So that was what that BMO was about. I'm going through something. And then I started doing some more doodles, and then if you are on my channel, you saw the new meme with Dobby and the king. Oh yes, they both reach for the gun. I wanted to do a story. I wanted to do like a brief summary of how the king and Dobby first made their agreement, because again, the king is an archfey of winter and Dobby is a spring court fey. So just seeing how they tricked each other, because the king thought he was going to use Dobby as a pawn, and Dobby was like, no, I just wanted to get with you the whole time. So this is working out for me. So it was just kind of like a double turnaround for them. Like, he lied to me, I lied to him. Like, yeah, go, sure. One thing I would have definitely changed about this is made the leaf look more like a leaf, because they wound up looking like a tongue just by how tiny it is. So I would have made a bigger leaf and then made it more leafy shaped to kind of sell it, because it kind of looks like the king sticking out his tongue or biting his tongue. But I definitely wanted him to bite a leaf, kind of like he's taking a bite out of spring, because Dobby is represented by spring and flowers, and the king is usually represented by ice when I draw them. But it was just done really quick in a hurry, so it wasn't like I was spending too much time on the details. But if I was, I definitely would have made it bigger and more clear. But that's okay. It was a fun meme to do. And this ends May through September's Sketchbook Tour. Yay! Ending with Dobby being bad. Fun part about the sketchbook is, like, sometimes the art turns out really good, right? And then other times the art is very mundane or very bad. I think I was getting into a groove here into the summer, but I enjoyed just drawing the characters interacting and just seeing what the characters are doing. I definitely really was getting closer to my OCs during the summer, and I did a lot of memes during the summer. I was trying to get in my TikTok bag, but then TikTok started trying to shadow ban me, so I'll be on YouTube for now. But I really loved drawing these characters, especially like the king and Dobby. I want to do a comic with them soon, as I'm done with my George and Aaron comic, so it's always fun to draw them and interact with the characters more and more and understand their dynamics more, especially the king and Dobby, which is my favorite dynamic. I just like that they both played the game. I also hope to draw more Fields of Mystery art as I play the game. I'm actually playing the game really slowly. There's actually way more D&D art than I'm showing here, but I'll show more of that at a certain point, because I draw the NPCs, but I don't want the players to see the NPCs if they happen to stumble upon this, so that's why you don't see a lot of D&D art, but that's where most of my art is going to. So look forward to an NPC reveal at some point. Overall, I think I want to do more sketchbook tours in the future if I can. I like to show more of the sketchbooks as they come along. I will do my best to show more art. I know I keep saying it, but I do have to draw to be able to post on this channel, and I am a very slow drawing artist, so expect to see things when they come. Oh my god, your arm was so tiny. I appreciate you all for joining me on my sketchbook tour. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you. And if you didn't, that's okay too. I hope you will be able to join me again soon. Thank you. Bye.